Hello, good evening, and welcome back to the Reggae University at Rototom Sunsplash 2025, 30th edition of Rototom Sunsplash. And this session that we're about to begin is entitled Dubbing in the 21st Century, the Dubquake Experience. And just to remind our co-panelists who present these sessions here together, at the far end of the table you have Ellen Lily Cullings and Pete Lily Cullings, the joint editors of Rhythm Magazine in Cologne, Germany. And then next to me you have Pierre Tosi, a broadcaster and journalist from Bologna, Italy, whose Soul Shakedown Party radio show is broadcast in Bologna and on Hits 92 FM in Jamaica. You have myself, David Katz, author and journalist based in London, England. And please put your hands together, give a warm welcome for our special guests, Rico O.B.F, Stef O.B.F, Esaïa, and Motherdubber. Now, Dubquake people, I'd like to begin this special session by allowing each of you just to introduce yourselves to the public here. Just tell us who you are, what you do, and what's your connection with Dubquake?
My name is... Oh, you start? I'll start. All right. My name is Rico from O.B.F Sound System. Main member of O.B.F Sound System. I created Dubquake Records like 12, 15 years ago now. As well, we started the Dubquake party 19 years ago as well in Geneva. We're based in Geneva in France, now in Lyon as well. And I'm a selector, producer, and artistic director, and yeah. That's
okay, thank you.
Hello, sorry, my English is not perfect, so maybe sometimes I'm gonna speak in French to express myself better, and Rico or Trinity gonna translate for you. But for my presentation, I'm Stef from O.B.F. I'm the production manager of the crew. I'm also the organizer of Dubquake Party in Geneva. And also I'm part of the label, Dubquake Records, for different projects. For example, I'm taking care about the project of Esaïa, Mindscape.
Thank you.
Okay, my English is so bad too, so I will try to speak well. I'm Esaïa, I'm 28 years old. I'm young, no? It's been 5 years I produce music, and young singer too. Donc j'ai sorti, in French, j'ai sorti mon premier projet il y a 5 ans sur Dubquake Records, un premier EP, et il y a 6 mois maintenant, j'ai sorti mon premier album, Mindscapes, et une tournée de 15 dates qui va se finir fin août. Là.
Yeah.
Voilà.
So 5 years ago, she released her first EP, and 6 mois. And 6 months ago, she released her first album on Dubquake Records, and she's currently on tour with another 15 dates. Yeah.
Yo, can I add something? I want to say as well that Stef, Esaïa, and Trin, they can lift up boxes as well. Yeah, they're part of the sound system. Strong.
True. Okay, thank you.
And my name is Trinity, aka Motherdubber. Stef and Rico adopted me when I was 13 years old as a young, lost teenager in the early Dubquake days. And now I'm currently a researcher and curator. And I think I offer some mediation, some conscious mediation to Dubquake, I would say.
Okay, so thank you.
Curating as well a night at Dubquake now since
oh,
a
yes,
year.
yes, I forgot.
Is a selectress.
Oh, yes.
As well, yeah.
Yeah, so since April, we now have the Motherdubbers Club, and I focus on booking artists that have a focus on the sort of black spirituality aspect of sound system culture, which is very important to me as the only Afro-Caribbean on the team. So, yeah.
Okay. Thank you. So, thank you all for this brief introduction about who we have on the panel. I'd like to wind the Dubquake clock back to the very beginning. And can each of you tell us something about the scene in Geneva that gave rise to Dubquake, and then also Dubquake, you know, it's tied up with Geneva, but then most of you are French and you weren't actually in Geneva. So break it down for us a bit. Tell the good public here a bit about the dub scene, the scene that emerged, and how and when Dubquake came into being.
All right, as young Frenchmen and French woman, Stef, G and I, we used to live in a Geneva suburb in France, right? And Geneva back in the days was a real vibrant city, all right? We had Usher Selector, who used to organize like big concert every 2 weeks. You could see Gregory Isaac, Gladiators, Josh Shaka in the late 90s, Tony Rebel, Sizzla in the same night, yeah, actually. So yeah, we are very lucky in Geneva to have this organizer. Then we have the more like UK sound system side with Cultural Warriors. They used to organize sound system dance in squat, yeah, in the basements, like blues dance, but like in Geneva squat. And we were lucky enough to have this just near the border where we used to live, right? So we used to take our bike or our motorbike to go there, and yeah, we were into rap, hip-hop music, but when we discovered that these things like reggae music played loud in basement with like a hip-hop approach as well, with MC writing version and things, we really like fell in love with this music. And then a couple of years later, we had a chance to occupy a building with many different people, Stef, I, and my guy G. And this is where we started to organize our own party in the basement of this squat in the heart of Geneva.
20 years ago.
Right,
Okay.
2002. From 2002, yeah. And yeah, we were lucky enough to have like this free space to express ourselves. And as well, all the money we would get back in the days, we used to invest it in our sound system, who was very, 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 very basic at the time. But still, we had a little sound system to play our records. We were lucky enough to have free record store in Geneva as well, so we could like buy records. But sometime we were looking for more like futuristic UK dub approach. So at a certain point, the shop couldn't really provide what we wanted, yeah? When we bought all the Irish and Steppers, Abashanti Disciple collection, you know? So one day, my guy, who sit right here, Raf, he came from Poland to Geneva, couldn't speak a word of English, of French back in the days. But you know what he did? He gave Stef a sequencer, Yamaha sequencer. He said, maybe Rico can do something with it. And this is how I started to create composed music back in the day. Say, my guy.
So wait
Raf,
a minute,
right
wait
here,
a
right?
minute. Gentlemen, why did you give him the sequencer? You felt the beat, so you thought he can do something with it.
So after organizing a couple of parties in our basement, one guy who used to run the bigger club in Geneva, underground club, they say, yo, you guys are fucking up my business. You can't organize like party like this every weekend. We need to organize ourselves, and we connected together, and then he gave us the key of L'Usine, one of the biggest club in Geneva, as volunteer, right? And we started to organize our Dubquake events every 2 months in 2006. And this is how it started, inviting Vibronics for the first time, then link up with...
Next year, in 2026, it's the anniversary
Ouais.
of the Dubquake party.
20 years.
20 years.
So yeah. As you can understand, we always been autonomous, DIY, and started from the scratch. And to me, this is a very important thing. Started from the scratch with nothing, build up your own, company, friendship, and everything. So that's is very important in the O.B.F family. This is what build us, all right?
Okay. And Trinity, Motherdubber, did you connect with Rico and Stef as far back as that? Or?
Right away. The first time I saw them, I could just feel their authenticity right away. I feel like what's really interesting about them is just how consistent they have always been in the last 20 years. They were always surrounded by their close group of friends who, you still see the same people I used to see at the raves 20 years ago, the same people I see now. They really have a tight support team. They really put the friendship and the family aspect at the forefront of what they do. And they still also kept this like sort of punk rock spirit as well. And I think something which might not be very relevant, which I feel the need to say, is the squats which they were living in happens to be in the neighborhood where both Esaïa and I grew up in, which is a more working class migrant neighborhood. And so I think that's a really interesting coincidence, which I also noticed. We're all sat here together today.
Yes, yes, makes perfect sense. So, and then Esaia, you were saying you've been producing your music for about 5 years. So how and when did you first come into the Dubquake orbit, as it were?
Comment t'as commencé à nous linker?
Ouais.
That's a funny story.
J'avais 15 ans.
She was 15.
Yeah. Je commençais à sortir au Corner 25, une vieille cave où il y avait des sound systems, maximum 100 personnes.
Yeah. So similar to me actually. So she was a young teenager who was raving way before she was supposed to at the age of 15. But she started going to the Corner 25, which is also a very legendary space in Geneva in terms of reggae history. So that's where she met them for the first time.
Donc j'allais là-bas, je connaissais cet endroit parce que ma mère y vivait quand c'était encore un squat.
Yeah, and she knows the space because her mother used to squat in this building. So this is the yeah.
Et en même temps, je crois que même d'abord je suis allée à la Dubquake et en fait moi j'ai écouté de la musique toute mon enfance, mes parents écoutaient de tout. J'ai vraiment eu cette culture musicale variée.
Yeah.
Voilà.
Yeah, and she grew up with music. She was exposed to a really varied array of music from a very young age.
Yeah. Et en fait, en rentrant dans l'usine, déjà qu'il y a un bâtiment légendaire à Genève, j'ai vraiment eu cet amour pour cette puissance sonore, l'ambiance des Dubquake qui est juste unique. D'ailleurs, si vous n'y êtes pas allé encore, faut venir. Tu veux traduire ? Et voilà, c'était vraiment... Chez moi, à la maison, on écoutait le son très fort tout le temps. Hip-hop, techno, rock, un peu de dub, du reggae. Et vraiment, en arrivant dans cette salle, c'était... Ouais, cette puissance du dub, je suis tombée amoureuse direct. Et le plus drôle, c'est que j'avais pas d'argent. Je sortais du vendredi après-midi au dimanche soir très tard. Et du coup, j'arrivais devant l'usine et je payais pas souvent mes entrées. Ça, tu peux le dire. Ben, on faisait tampon sur les poignets.
So she used to regularly go to l'usine, which is a space where we organize the Dubquake events. That's also the space where I met Rico and Stef for the first time. So yeah, just like me, she started going there from the age of 15, and she was a broke, lost teenager from one of the poorest neighborhoods in Geneva, who just used to find all kinds of different ways to get in for free, whether it was doing double stamping to get in.
Right, sharing the hand stamp.
Yeah, the classic thing.
Back in the day.
Ouais, et on faisait des fausses cartes d'identité pour rentrer.
Fake IDs, the whole thing, yeah.
Voilà. Donc, et du coup, après, bah, j'ai été pendant 7 ans, je pense, 7-8 ans, en Dubquake. Parce qu'il faut savoir qu'il y avait une Dubquake un mois, une Top Ranking un mois. Donc tous les mois, il y avait une soirée où on sortait, c'était notre week-end, quoi.
Right, yeah. So yeah, for the last 7 years, well, yeah.
Okay. And que dire de plus?
Ça t'a inspiré?
Ça m'a inspiré, ouais. C'est
La Dubquake.
Quand est-ce que tu as rejoint vraiment l'équipe?
il y a 6 ans et demi. J'ai rejoint l'équipe
Yeah.
Dubquake il y a
So
6 ans et demi.
she officially joined the Dubquake team 7 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, so moving forward a little bit. So, as far as I understand, Rico and Stef, correct me if I'm wrong. Around 2010, O.B.F sound system is officially formed, or the records begin to come out. Is that right? O.B.F records around 2010.
Say again, 'cause I can't hear you.
O.B.F records
Yeah, O.B.F
begins around 2010. Is that right?
Can't remember exactly, but
Something like
maybe
that.
like 2000. Yeah, like maybe 10 years we like officialize O.B.F records, Dubquake records to be like company. Before I used to run it like as a side job. I was not really the best guy to run like a records company, so I asked my good friend Andre and now Zach, who is part of the team, and Kali
Right.
to run the label. So yeah, now I got a proper team. But yeah, it started like 12 years ago, I think.
But the first releases came out under the O.B.F banner.
Yeah,
Then you had Dubquake Records starts around 2013, I think. Is that right?
You know better than me, David.
Okay, well, but so, all right, I tell you what. Play a little bit of track 1 and let's just listen to this and see what you can tell us about it, Rico and Stef.
So what you can hear now is the proper UK dub, UK roots inspired inspiration, you know, and proceeds to my brain, my heart, and then I reinvent like this style, yeah.
Okay.
I forgot about this tune. Big tune. You didn't wait for the drop, the bass drop. when this bass line drop, trust me. Jesus.
He cut the drop.
But yeah, for tonight, keep it for tonight. I'm gonna play this one tonight. I forgot about this tune.
Okay, so essentially you're saying at that time you were heavily inspired by UK dub and you thought, I'm going to translate it in my own way? Or what were you doing exactly?
No, because one very important part of the O.B.F history was my link with Mark Iration, yeah. I was a driver for one of my guys in Geneva. He booked iNatural back in 2004, yeah, and I gave a CD to my guy iNatural in the car, yeah, while I was driving. And then he went back to the UK, Chapeltown, Leeds. He was in his yard listening my CD, yeah, and then Mark Iration come in. It's more like, you know, when anyway. And then he said, yo, who's this guy? What's this music? And I said, yo, it's a young guy from Geneva. And then this is how I linked Mark Iration, took me under his wing, yeah, we could say that. He emailed me back in the days, that's my story, yeah. Wrote on my caramel, Rico, O.B.F at caramel.com back in the days, yeah. I love your dubs. So I had to burn a CD, go to the post office, put it in a letter, and send it to the UK, Chapeltown, yeah? This is how we used to do it back in the day, burn CD and send it postage, yeah? So that's why I've always been influenced by this music, because especially by like Iration and the whole UK, because I think the link between Jamaica and England, Europe was more adapted to my vision. Yeah.
Okay.
So this is why I've been heavily influenced by, you know.
Okay, well, we're going to trace these links moving forward. But Steph, just to clarify, with records like these, did you have any involvement in the actual production, or you were more just getting the music out and promotion?
C'était la muse.
J'ai toujours été passionnée par la musique depuis mon adolescence, depuis vraiment très petite. J'ai pratiqué la basse pendant un petit temps, mais très vite j'ai été rattrapée par la passion de l'organisation et de construire petit à petit tous les éléments essentiels pour une très bonne soirée.
Okay.
You want me to-
Trinity, yeah? Oh,
She,
go ahead.
she has been in love with music since a long time. She went to guitar bass for a couple of sometimes as well. But you know what? When you want to fully, like, when you need to be fully involved in the organization, you can't really do too many different things. You need to be focused on what you to do the best. But trust me, when I build some shit tunes, you're always here to say, yo, no, Rico, this one, no, you can't.
Yes,
Oh, this one, yeah, this.
yes, sometimes I think I can give you some good advice or...
For it.
So you're in charge of quality control.
Yes.
Yes, true. I try to do my best.
Okay.
And she's also Rico's babysitter.
No, not really, but
Okay.
no, I try to do my best, to taking care about the artists like O.B.F, like Esaïa, like Trinity. It's really important for me. I saw Wilson as well, but I try to do my best for them because it's really not easy to travel every weekend, to go to the different city, different venue, and to play every weekend, every night.
Give the best.
And they give the best. So same, I need to give my best for them.
Thank you.
And she does her job extremely well. If there's anyone who needs any advice, she is the best person.
Okay.
She's amazing. We
Thank
all love
you.
her. Yeah.
Now, the Dubquake camp has really helped give exposure to a lot of significant artists, and the collaborations you've done are really multifaceted. So let's take a little listen to a bit of track 2, and we'll see what you can tell us about this important connection that you established in helping to bring this artist to prominence. Yes? Well, give us a bit of track 3. If track 2 is a ghost track, let's try track 3.
I can play from here if you want.
Is the cable
Yo,
disconnected?
David.
Cable.
David,
Listen to the story. A true story, this.
you want to play the dub con?
Hey, say he was born in the 80s. So life was hard from he was a little baby. His daddy was in jail and his mama was crazy. So from the
Technical
start, he
difficulties.
never have safety. He might turn 7, start walking himself to school. He must soon find out his mama was a fool. In class A, he never
No, new generation, yeah. That's the one you wanted to play, yeah?
Please bear with us while we deal with technical difficulties. Anyway, let's just have a little conversation about this. So I was trying to bring in the work you've done with Charlie P, because you've done several albums with him, and you've kind of helped bring him to prominence. So while they're sorting out the equipment, just give us a little bit, tell us a little bit about the connection you made with Charlie P. How did it come about, and what can you tell us about working with Charlie?
You know, another important thing in the Dubquake crew is like we only work with like the friends, even the family, yeah? Charlie is literally born with a mic in his hand. He was on the stage at 7. He was in his show voice, something. Anyway, when he was like 7, 8, 9, he won this show. Then he started to work with a reggae band in South-en-Sea, and then his mom passed, and this is when he started to get deeper and deeper involved in the reggae music, because obviously he had something to say, yeah? It was like, I think, his therapy. And we met each other in a dance somewhere in Nantes, in France, yeah? And I think we had an instant connection, and since that day, it has been maybe like 15 years. I know Charlie now, and he's like my brother. So yeah, as I said, with O.B.F, it's very important to have like this family vibe, you know, friend vibe. On your phone, straight in the phone.
Okay, thank you. Finally, track 2.
Yes.
Whoa,
So yeah, that's the voice of Charlie P.
whoa, yeah. Anytime we pick up the
This is the music we used to do back in the days, yeah? Our first single. It's called Dub Controller.
Do it how you like, we are the dub controller. Controller, we are the dub controller. Controller, we are the dub controller. Controller, we are the dub controller. But let me tell them, hey, say mic check 1, 2. I'm in a the rhythm, and you know that me bash it up there with them, me chatting, with them, me singing. I'm in a state.
Cheers. Now,
We're gonna have some fun tonight, I think.
yeah, now if there's one thing we could say about Dubquake is that you have not made the barriers of physical space get in your way. So give us a little taste of track 5, and we're going to see what you can tell us about this one.
Never to the base, just to the silver, I can cultivate, celebrate love, never really take, make case, make, see what with the prayer to the make, get it saved, by the grace, piece of the space, brace myself, like a driver in a race, with a fire, burn up in a place, brace your barber, brace, great, praise, elevate ways, to escape girls' maze, people to give you up, but they're to give mine, no, everybody gets it, but I know you understand, here's to the cross and the masterclass, see, I brag up on the streets in the middle of the rain, we'll sit like an insane brain, empathy is feeling for another man's pain.
So yeah, so this tune is part of the Nazomba album, Rest in Peace, my brother. So I went to Jamaica a couple of times, and the first time I've been there, I stayed in someone's yard, yeah? First, one guy told me, okay, I know someone can rent you a room. And this is where I met one of my great friends who passed a couple of years ago now. And we started, because he had so much potential. He was into like more, we used to call it like sunny reggae, you know? Like he had a tune called Old Corolla, you know, proper like sunny reggae music. And I say, yo, maybe we should try to do a side project, you and I. And I started to think, because he had a great voice, a really deep voice. He used to write for many artists. He had such a presence as well on stage. And we've been working for a couple of months about this project called Nazomba. And I started to compose music. So the approach was like more like a movie approach about like the life in Jamaica and Kingston. All right, so this is how the project started with my brother Nazamba. Yeah.
And did you go to Jamaica specifically to record, or you just wanted to see what you found? Or
Yeah, I wanted to record there. I had no like precise idea, but I wanted to go there, record. Like, you know, as you go there as a producer, you want to make some link, record some new artists, just like make some, you know, connection. And I met my guy, my brother.
And Steph, did you also, were you part of that trip? And
Yes. Yes. I can't remember the first time for me in Jamaica, but I stay also in the Nazamba house. It was really nice experience to discover Kingston with him and Aisha Bell as well.
right.
And you know, I'm always also organize the Nazamba tour in France, in all Europe. It was a really good experience. And you know, it's funny because you put this song with Sumti, and also I work with Sumti 6 or 7 years ago. I was on tour with Sumti, tour management during 1 year, and it was a really good experience with the band. And so yeah, Sumti and Nazamba are really in my heart.
Yeah, so, yeah, I want to add something. In the crew, you can see we like produce music, organize like the artistic direction from artist to musician, composition. Then it's going to the label, producing music on wax, and then it's going to the tour with Steph. So everything is like, you know, the full pack.
I would like to ask you, is for Rico, but for whoever want to contribute, about your creative process. I know you're so prolific, like working on many projects, but how usually is coming an O.B.F tune? And since it's been mentioned this very early sequence, if your approach has changed since those days and until now?
But the approach didn't really change. Just we in studio, we build tunes. It's the vibe who lead us, you know. We don't really think about how we should do, you know. No, we just. Sometimes when you overthink, usually the tune just flop. When it's the vibe, just an instant vibe. It comes from the heart. It's pure. It just flows naturally. This is when you get the best from everybody, artist, producer, everything. So this is how we work usually.
Straight.
With the vibe in the studio.
But sometimes during the night, Rico
Why you can't really?
wake up and have an idea and go to the studio, for example, at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Well, you can't really. You
Sometimes
you
it's
don't really
happened.
know when it comes. So you know.
And I do feel like the whole sort of that spontaneity is also what I really admired from just the Dubquake experience growing up. There was always this sort of just spontaneous DIY approach to everything. And yeah, I think that's a really important part of the spirit.
Okay, so
Ouais, et je veux juste rajouter quelque chose. Rico, il a ce talent-là de quand il a une idée ou quand il faut faire quelque chose pour la créativité, il y va direct. Et ça, c'est un truc qui m'a transmis de pas trop se poser de questions et d'y aller, quoi. Donc.
Yeah. So that's also an approach which he has transmitted to Esaïa. She really likes this idea of how Rico, the moment he has an idea, he just goes straight to it. And that was one of her biggest lessons.
Des fois, même Steph doit le freiner un peu parce que c'est trop.
Yeah. But yeah, sometimes Steph has to kind of slow him down because he's, yeah.
Not his creativity, his energy.
so
Natural energy.
So-
Anyway.
so Steph helps you to stay focused, essentially.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so moving on, let's take a little listen to a bit of track 8, an intriguing record. And one thing about Dubquake and O.B.F, as they travel around the world, they take influences and transmit them back.
Everywhere I look in the city, separation and poverty. The rich have fear and no pity. Too much stress in the society. Everywhere I look in the city, separation and poverty. The rich have fear and no pity.
So, Rico and Stef, what did we just hear? What were we listening to? Who made it? Who released it? How did it come about?
Go, Steph.
On est allé au Brésil en 2015. We go to Brazil in 2015, and São Paulo is a crazy city. It's really strong city, music city. The energy of the people is crazy, and we met Nina, we met Leila, we met many singers, and yeah, it was natural to work with her
On the project. Yeah.
on the project. Yeah.
Well, Brazil has been a very important experience and step in my life because we met so many people. We stayed a month there. But at the end of the tour, we decided to go to studio, invite all the artists, the producer, the people we met, and put them all together in a mixtape. We did this in like 3 days, yeah? And this tune is not part of the mixtape, I think, but it's all connected to Brazil. This tune is from Nina Girassóis. I didn't compose it, but I rearranged it, I rebuilt it, and promote it on Dubquake. And during the lockdown session, this tune has been really, yeah. But yeah, Brazil has been a very important part of our life. Strong connection with Brazil. We got some really good friends there. So yeah, that's it. This is why we did this Brazilian mixtape. O.B.F in Brazil, Rototom, something like, I can't remember the name, but yeah.
On O.B.F YouTube, you can see a small report
As
of
well.
the
tour and the vibe
tour,
there
yeah.
in studio, yeah, for real.
Okay. Now, not long after that release, you launched an intriguing series of releases showcasing the new generation, the younger generation. And many of the releases were by female artists, and they came with intriguing artwork on the cover. So let's take a little listen to a bit of track 9, and we'll see what you can tell us about this one.
Yeah, I got a really good friends who like, his name is Mick Man, he built percussion, Bingi, everything, yeah. And his daughter was 14 years old, 14, yeah, 14 ans. And his dad, he said, yo, my daughter's, she built tunes. I said, all right, send it to me then. And then he sent me tunes like this. So I said, you know what, I need to do something for the new generation on my label. So I decided to create a new branch in the label called New Generation Series. So Sonda came to my studio for 3 days, rebuild, rearrange the old tracks, and we launched the New Generation Series with Sonda on Dubquake Records. And then after this came Esaïa, and then, can't remember who, but Mystic, yeah.
Well, okay. Yes, so just give us a little taste of track 10, and we'll see what you can tell us about it.
So when you're talking about dubbing in the 21st century, this kind of tune, you know? Esaïa.
Tonight at midnight.
Woo! So yeah. I say yeah, exactly. So that was the second release on Dubquake Records of the new generation series. This is Esaïa, right? Esaïa, you want to say something more about it, or the process, how it went?
Yeah, what can you tell us about making this tune? And yeah.
J'ai l'impression que c'était il y a une vie.
She feels like it was done a lifetime ago.
Yeah, 5 years ago. Yeah. Nice, nice. Young Esaïa producer.
Wicked still.
But how did you put it together? What approach did you take? And yeah, how did you make it? And what were you trying to do? Exactly.
Comment ça s'est passé en studio quand
Les inspirations.
Bah, en fait, Rico a été mis au courant que je faisais du son. Je venais de rentrer dans la team. Il partait en date, je sais plus où. Et j'ai envoyé 2 morceaux à Rico, dont un remix que j'avais fait de Irish and Stepa. Et du coup, il m'a dit, bah, let's go, on va se voir en studio et tu vas montrer ce que tu as dans le ventre.
So someone had approached Rico to let him know that Esaïa also produces music. And so he was just like, okay, come over, come with your tunes, let's see what you're made of. And she sent him 2 tunes, including one remix she had done for Irish and Stepas. Okay. And yeah, that's kind of went on from there.
Okay. All right. Well, I tell you what. So, because time is moving on, we're going to get ready to put the mic to you good people to allow you to put some questions to our special guests. But before we do that, give us a little taste of track 15, and we'll just see what you can tell us about this one.
Tonight, Esaïa on live at Dub Academy at midnight.
So yeah, this tune is part of the last album from Esaïa, right here, once again, yeah?
So, Esaïa, how would you describe your music? What are we listening to when we listen to this last album?
Freedom, no barriers between style of music, and I don't know, love.
Okay.
Yeah. It's I love to mix style because I think music is a big. Je vais y aller en français parce que voilà. Ouais, pour moi, en fait, je me bats pour ce truc de casser les barrières aussi dans les styles musicaux.
Yeah, her mission is to kind of break barriers and categories within music.
Voilà. Je vais m'inspirer de musique de film, de musique de percussion techno, voilà. Mais je vais toujours à la vibe, comme il dit. Tu veux traduire?
She can be just as inspired from film music, from films, to specific percussion elements from techno music. But one thing that kind of puts everything together is that spontaneity that we talked about before.
En fait, ouais, jamais je vais. En fait, quand on se pose devant notre ordi, jamais on va se dire ah je vais faire ça aujourd'hui. C'est à la vibe et c'est aussi tout ce qu'on a emmagasiner comme culture musicale, les styles, l'oreille, les émotions, et retransmettre ça après à travers notre art.
She never comes, when she's in the studio, she never comes with a specific idea of this is what I want to do. It's just she sits there and it can be influenced by her mood or from a collection of all the different emotions or things that she's heard throughout the day. It's really go with the flow.
Thank you. Okay, so we got the roving microphone is ready. So now's your chance to put a few questions to our special guests. Okay, we got a question at the back.
So thank you for the possibility. The first thing, you have to admit that you are the people that allow me to start to listen this kind of music. So for me, it's a super pleasure to stay here with you. And my question is, what's your best advice if I want to start now to do that kind of music? Try to imagine that my job is a completely different job, and I want to start doing this job, your job. So what's your advice?
To who? To create music, to start.
To start to do that music, exactly. Live your life.
Just go and download some on illegal website, like a free program, as we all did, you know? And then, when you're ready, you buy it. How you mean? Of course. Exactly. You have to give back. You take, but you give back after, all right? Exactly. There's the trial version, yeah? And then, when you're ready, buy it, give love, give back to the people who helped you, you know, and just let the vibe flow. To me, this is how we started, I think. We all started like this. Can't really, there's no really like a guideline for, huh?
Ouais, et s'amuser comme si c'était un jeu et bien s'entourer aussi. Ça, c'est important. Et pas se comparer aux autres. Ça, c'est très important.
Yeah. So Esaïa's advice to you is to be well surrounded with people that you love and you trust. Do not compare your work with anyone else. Et j'ai déjà oublié la première. Oh, and have fun. Have fun, of course.
Wise words. Thank you. Yeah, I think, oh yeah. There's a question in the middle somewhere. Yeah. Yeah, wait for the mic, please. Thank you.
Ah, ça marche pas. It's not working.
The only but nice. Bonjour. This is a throat singing. It will be nice with the dub. So thank you so much for your vibes of today. Merci beaucoup. And I have a question. I'm a live looper. I'm mixing hip hop, reggae, and Mongolian music. Is a sort of my message. And I'm asking you, how much is important the team? Because I'm alone in my not career, just basking around, participate festivals, and I seen the most part of the biggest artists is like a family. I have the perception is a sort of family. And if you want to succeed or proceed, you just need to stay united, imagine. But I'm curious for your point of view about that.
Who wants to answer this question? I can, but if you want to go. To me, no man is an island, you know that, yeah? So you can't, to me, it would be so hard to be alone. We started like this. We used to do everything, like go in the street, put poster on the wall, be at the entrance,
I'm doing
send
the same,
people, then go play some tunes.
Self-promotion.
But you know what? To me, it's important to know about it. You know, to just show respect to all the. I mean, to know and show respect to all the people you're with in your surrounding. But to be alone, no, it's not. I think it's not. You can, yeah. But if you want to reach a different level, exactly, upgrade everything, you need to be surrounded with good people. You know, everyone has his own, I think, role to play, and you have to. I mean, yeah.
And all together. When you have a team, you can create your identity. You know, it's special things. And Rico bring special things. I'm bring another things. Esaïa, Trinity, Wilson, G, you know, and more people bring a special energy, and that's why you can create your proper identity. O.B.F sound system, Dubquake records, Dubquake party.
You need a team.
One
You
family.
need a team.
Yes,
Great.
Wow.
Okay, I think we got time for last few questions. If we got more questions in the house. Right, we got any more questions? Oh yes, one over here. Okay.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah. So yeah, my question is about in my opinion, dub is not only the only music, but also like a whole movement. And how do you see that this movement affects like people's life politically, not about like day-to-day politics, but in general? Can you hear me? No.
Can you
could
speak
you
up a
repeat the
little
question?
louder? Yeah,
Okay,
speak
yeah,
up a little
I'll
louder.
repeat the question again. Okay, so in my opinion, dub is not only the music, but also a movement. How do you see that this movement affects people's life, like politically, not like day-to-day politics, but how it's going to impact society, and what is your vision for dub music about like how it's going to evolve in the future, and not only places like here in Europe, but also like other places like Brazil, Latin America, and the whole world?
Yeah, I'm actually very happy that somebody asked that question, because I think that's kind of where my role becomes quite important. I mean, obviously, I've noticed, I guess everyone has noticed, that sound system culture has really sort of risen, has gained popularity in many places in Europe, but unfortunately in sort of the Caribbean and sort of within the Black diaspora, not so much. So for me, it's very, very important that sound system just doesn't get reduced to the whole sort of festive element, and that there is still some consciousness placed on the more sort of anti-colonial aspects, the whole sort of, militant aspect to it, the spiritual element, that there's a certain respect given to this black art form, black revolutionary art form. That's my only fear. My fear is that dub sound system sort of moves further and further away from this. So that's my wish for the future of sound system. Don't forget where it comes from. Yeah.
So I think
Is there a woman question? Woman you can talk to? No, yeah. If you want to ask
More
us
women on
something,
stage.
let's go. No?
Someone over there.
she's good.
There's someone there qui veut un question.
There's
Oh,
someone at the
yeah,
back.
there you go. Yeah, yeah,
Ah,
yeah.
voilà.
This is time for our last question. Go for it.
Okay, nice. I can do in English or in French, but English maybe it's better for everybody. First, thank you. Nice to see you here, then in Geneva. First of all, what do you think about women's place in this kind of world? First, like, there's a lot of men's everywhere, and like in women places, it's really hard just to break a vibe or just like getting a bit further in this kind of world, as I'm trying to do. But I don't know, like, is it maybe harder for wives to go, like for women to go in this way, or easier for men, or what do you think? The place of women.
Within sound system specifically?
Yes, particularly.
T'as compris la question?
Oui. Je vais parler en français, parce que c'est plus facile. Merci pour cette question. Il est vrai que dans le milieu sound system, en tout cas européen, il y a vraiment énormément d'hommes à la tête de sound system. Et je pense que c'est un problème. quelque part, même si je respecte absolument tout le monde. Mais pour les femmes, c'est assez compliqué de prendre sa place dans cette scène, parce que c'est très intimidant, quelque part. Et je pense que j'avais envie de demander si ici, ce soir, il y avait des femmes qui étaient sélecta ou productrices, et en tout cas les encourager à vraiment continuer à produire de la musique et à faire de la sélection. Enfin, il faut vraiment y aller fort, fort, fort. Et c'est aussi à tous ces crews d'hommes de nous inviter, de nous faire confiance, de nous considérer, et également aussi aux promoteurs. Il faut vraiment dénicher toutes ces femmes, parce qu'il y en a beaucoup qui font de la musique. Il faut juste leur donner la place devant la scène, et on est là et on va se battre.
Great, thank you about that.
Translation, please.
Yeah. So Stef definitely acknowledges the fact that the sound system does remain an incredibly male-dominated space, which can be extremely intimidating sometimes for women. So she is really, really hoping that, you know, women are more encouraged to be inspired to join sound system, and she's also asking that men to be a lot more sort of inviting to women who are show or display any interest to produce or to become part of the sound system community. So yeah, it's there's still a lot of work to do, but
yes. Thank you for that question. Thanks to everyone for attending. And just to remind, we will be right back here tomorrow at the Reggae University at 5:30 p.m. We have the session Original Coffee, the baddest thing out of Jamaica with coffee. And then, if all goes well, at 7 p.m., we'll have Booth Unlimited, the incredible career of Ken Booth. And don't forget that starting tonight at 10 p.m. over at the Dub Academy, you will have the Dubquake Takeover. 10 to 11 p.m., Stef O.B.F. at the controls. 11 to 12, Motherdubber. 12 to 1, Esaïa. And 1 till 5 a.m., Dubquake family.
Big up Asher Selector.
Please.
Hi, Asher.
Thank you, people.
And once again, put a warm round of applause for our special guests, Rico O.B.F., Stef O.B.F., Esaia, and Motherdubber.
Thank you to support and welcome tonight at the Dub Academy.
Exactly. Tonight, as special guests on the mic, we have Senor Wilson, we see it right here. By the way, if you don't know, go on Spotify, listen Big Bad Heavy and Load, right? This tune, fresh. We have Nia Songbird as well on the mic. We have Junior Roy and some friends. There's many, many friends call me. So yeah, anyway, all night long from 10 to 5. All right?
Thank you.